The Justice Department is forming a new domestic terrorism unit. The Assistant Attorney General made the announcement before the Senate Judiciary Committee on Tuesday. He said the specialized unit will help combat escalating threats from violent extremists in the U.S. And this comes as the DOJ investigates the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, which senior officials have referred to as domestic terrorism. Nicole Sganga wrote about this for CBSNews.com, and she joins me now to discuss. So I think this is really interesting, Nicole, because when I first heard about this, I thought to myself, but doesn't that sort of already exist? Aren't they already tackling this issue? That's what they said was going to be a priority when this new administration came into power. So what made the Department of Justice want to launch a new unit?
Yeah, it's a great question, Anne-Marie. What we know is that this is a group of dedicated attorneys that are going to form a specialized unit under what's called the National Security Division. It's led by Assistant Attorney General Matt Olson. He's the one that made this announcement this week. And he says he wants to ensure that these domestic terrorism cases are properly handled and effectively coordinated across the country. We know that this is a country that has seen nationwide deadly attacks in recent years: El Paso, Pittsburgh, Charleston, even last month in Denver. Officials at the FBI saying the number of investigations of suspected violent extremists have more than doubled since the spring of 2020. And so certainly the January 6th investigation has also contributed to this sort of sizable workload for prosecutors and investigators, particularly the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia and the FBI's Washington Field Office. So, to your earlier question, these events underscore kind of the growing footprint of domestic terrorism, this phenomenon that is now being called the primary threat to the homeland by the likes of the DHS secretary. So we're no longer talking primarily about international terrorism, as we were in the aftermath of 9/11. In terms of the kinds of domestic violent extremists law enforcement say they've seen surge, there's more lone offenders motivated by both racial animus and what's called anti-authority ideologies, so white supremacists and anti-government militia groups. One quick thing to keep in mind, Anne-Marie, the Department of Justice has additional expanded authorities already to deal with terrorism offenses, including what is called enhanced sentencing. So that means federal law recommends harsher sentences for defendants that are motivated by politics. It was expanded to domestic terrorism back in 1995. If you remember, that was the year of the Oklahoma City bombing. But even though prosecutors inside courtrooms have called January 6th defendants, terrorists, that they've committed crimes of terrorism, the department has yet to employ these sentencing enhancements as part of this ongoing investigation. Will they? DOJ's top national security official was asked this Tuesday, and he said it's possible, adding that prosecutors would rely on the facts and circumstances of each case. But this is the kind of challenge lawyers in this new unit are really going to be focused on, Anne-Marie.
I don't know if the Justice Department has sort of spoken on this, but it certainly seems like there has been an increased interest and focus in domestic terrorism since January 6th of last year, the attack on the Capitol. But we know that there was talk about domestic terrorism even before that. I'm wondering if the Justice Department sees the attack on the Capitol as part of a longer story and an expected progression, if you will, when it comes to domestic terrorism in the country, or if something about January 6th also fueled, enhanced, ignited domestic terrorism sentiments or philosophies here in this country.
Yeah, I think January 6th was in some ways a turning point, or perhaps the escalation of what Homeland Security officials and officials within the Department of Justice had been seeing over time, which was this sort of shift to homegrown violent extremism and domestic violent extremism. It's also been a topic largely, Anne-Marie, that, lawmakers have taken on the Hill. Republican lawmakers arguing that, discussion of the Capitol assault maybe has overshadowed some of the unrest we saw across the United States that stemmed from racial justice protests following the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. You know, the FBI's top counterterrorism official, Jill Sanborn, this week noted that the FBI has also opened more than 800 investigations originating from that unrest. And, you know, just a little north of 250 people have been arrested. You know, beyond that, though, we have heard discussions from, you know, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle who are trying to frame this issue of domestic violent extremism, you know, in the country, sort of in their own political lights. But we do know, we have heard this sort of beating drum from lawmakers for a while.
Yeah, so speaking of that, because I was going to bring it up, you know, because the Justice Department can try to be as nonpartisan as possible, but we are seeing sort of different definitions or concerns when you talk to different politicians about what domestic terrorism is. Can you talk a little bit about sort of partisan concerns that kind of overtook a Senate hearing on domestic terrorism this week? What can you tell us about, I guess, where two sides sort of draw the line?
Well, it's interesting. This week, Anne-Marie, we heard from the Senate Judiciary Committee, and, you know, we heard lawmakers like Senator Cruz ask officials about Ray Epps, for instance, who was seen on video urging people to march into the Capitol ahead of the insurrection. There's been a little misinformation here, which is why I want to point this out. You know, there's been no public evidence that Ray Epps actually entered the interior of the U.S. Capitol building. I was there on that day, and like thousands of others, it appears that Epps was actually just unlawfully present on the restricted grounds of the Capitol. DOJ cannot feasibly charge all of those cases, including this one. But some Republican members of Congress have promoted a bit of a theory that Mr. Epps was working for the FBI. The special committee on January 6th has debunked this, you know, noting that they've met and interviewed Epps. We heard a little bit of partisan, you know, bickering just about the framing of domestic violent extremism in the country during that hearing, whether we should be focusing more on the riots that occurred in the summer of 2020 or the January 6th attack. But there is no doubt in the minds of officials, as I mentioned before, Anne-Marie, that the threat environment we are in now is actually greater than what we were seeing in the weeks, months, and days leading up to January 6th.
Wow, that is concerning, Nicole. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if you want to read more of Nicole's article, just head on over to cbsnews.com. You can find it there.